I wanted to talk about a few things today that are somewhat important and seemingly not covered by any current gurus or spiritual teachers that I know of. Although I'm sure there have been in the past. I would assume, I don't know. Anyways, a couple concepts. One is, there's always the question, who am I? And before a realization, or before becoming aware, or before being enlightened, or before, there's always the concept of the individual thinking, well, this is me. I am John. I am a retired firefighter, lifelong member of a church, this, that, whatever the case may be. That's what you think. But these are all just concepts that have absolutely no tangibility to them. There is no such thing as a lifelong member of a church. That's just a conceptual idea of something. That's not anything concrete. Where you could say, I'm a mechanic of automobiles. There again, what is a mechanic of automobiles? It's nothing. It's just, it's a work, it's a adjective, it's a whatever it is, but it isn't anything physical or concrete. And then you say, well, I'm my body. But you're not that either. I have no clue what's going on inside this finger of mine, let alone what's going on the outside of my hand. I mean, I can feel as I run my fingers over my hand, but when I say I feel, who is the I that's feeling it? There is sensation inside my brain going on when I say my brain, a brain that this particular body has. But the I am can't be this. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if I get sick or I die. I mean, I just don't know what is going on here. This isn't me. This isn't my body. It's no different than being in a car, driving it as a race car driver or anything, and going, well, I'm the car. Well, do you know what's going on in the right rear tire? Well, no, but I'm aware there's a right rear tire there, otherwise I would crash. So, the reason you don't know what's going on in the right rear tire is because you're not the right rear tire. You're not any part of the car, you're just the driver of the car. So, the I am isn't this. The actual sensations of what the I am is feeling when I rub my hands on my palm or whatever, that feeling is an inanimate essence of something going on electronically in the brain of this particular human. But where is that analyzation taking place that says, I feel this? Because that's not here, it's not even in the brain. There's feeling taking place, but the feeling has no meaning until it's put together like a big jigsaw puzzle, and that's not being done in the brain. That's being done on a spiritual level. And that is the big question that everybody asks. Who am I? And I've answered this before in other things, but the I am isn't a physically tangible thing, nor is it electronic. Because everything that's physically tangible and electronic is part of the universe. and the universe has no soul of its own. It doesn't have, it doesn't have any essence to itself other than a dream. That's kind of random, but it's a different way of explaining because usually they use different words and different meanings that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but I speak differently and hopefully it means something to somebody differently. Anyways, the other concept was gurus. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine in that I recognize most of the time gurus get to the point in their life where they get followers and then they cross the bridge from being, I think they start off as being completely unaware of reality and what's happening to them. And then what happens is people like what they're hearing and they go, wow, I gotta listen to this person, this is very interesting. And then more and more and more people come, and at some point the particular guru goes, oh wow, I'm really something, because I've got all these people listening to me. Now this all goes on a subconscious level, but it takes place. And then they like that. I mean, that's a very human thing. Women like to look beautiful because it's something that feeds the ego. They like that. But you recognize if you're not the body, what is it that you're liking? If you like the fact that I'm very rich and powerful and successful or this or that or whatever the case may be, what is it that you're actually liking? Because that's not you. So anyways, these gurus go around and they, at some point they cross over, I don't know what you want to call it, ego-driven or whatever the case may be, and the followers also are drugged along with that. And they're going the wrong direction. However, there's a very similar situation that takes place, very, very similar, and it's a good thing. Let me explain. Let's say you've got a great big freight train going along, and we're way back here by the caboose, and some of us say, oh, I like my guru because he's right in front of me and he's dragging me along to godhood or one with God or whatever the case may be, but he's attached to another. Now, we can hopscotch around and, we know that there's no such thing as time or space in reality, so it doesn't matter where these things are connected, they're all one in essence. So to say, my guru is Jesus, who was the Christ, and to say, well, I think that guy's a crackpot. Well, if in fact this Jesus is going to be one with God, or is one with God, and you're connected to this big freight train, and Jesus is one with God, I don't know where the heck your train is going, but it certainly isn't going to God. Because if you don't accept Jesus as your guru, or as your guru's guru, or whatever the case may be in this long chain of events, then you're not going to where they're going. For instance, we can go back as far as time will allow us, and in written format at least, and go, well, I accept Krishna as my guru, or as my savior, or whatever the case may be. I see Krishna as one of, or the first in written format. And then we go a little while longer, and then we have Buddha. And then we have Jesus. And then we have others that come along. And then, of course, there's many that we're completely, totally unaware of because there's nothing written about them. And maybe only one or two people at the time knew that that particular person was enlightened and that particular person was following. And rather than a train like this, maybe it's more like a Christmas tree. So you can be attached anywhere along the line of this dragging Christmas tree, and you're all going to be one with God. But if at any point you want to divorce yourself or disconnect yourself through pride, through prejudice, through whatever your issues may be, then if anything along that Christmas tree is going to be one with God, and you decide to disassociate yourself with that, well, then you're not going to the same place. It's crystal clear. You can't go to the same place. It's not possible. If all is one, and that's what Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Buddha had a different look on it, but it's the same thing. Krishna had the same look on it, same type scenario. It's better to simply say, you know what, let's say you are of the Eastern philosophy and you don't particularly care for Christianity. Oh well, who cares? Rather than cast it out of your life, say, you know what, Jesus is a wonderful guy. Maybe he was a savior. Maybe he did die on the cross for me. Whatever the case may be, why not accept that as true? Why not accept that Buddha was who he was and he preached love and everything else, and accept that? Because these are friends that you want to be attached to. Now, getting back to your living particular guru, if he has disassociated himself with everything in front of him, then where do you think you're going? If a guru does not say, as a friend would say, I'm here to help you. I want to do everything I can within my power to help you along the path. But please, by all means, do not worship me. Worship the Almighty, or whatever it is. I mean, you cannot visualize what the Almighty is. You can say God and dream of some older guy with a beard or a woman or whatever it is, it's going to be wrong. So don't fixate upon anything. Just the love of the great I Am, and you're going to be one with that. The one, which is an issue that is very difficult to conceive of in this physical particular world that we live in this time, you just kind of have to take it on faith, because until you actually experience it while living in this world, when I say experience it, you can experience it. People go into samadhi and they experience things beyond the physical plane, but you can go way beyond that. Because, first off, you're not here anyways. Because when I said, what is the I Am that's saying, I feel my hand, that particular I Am is not trapped here in the physical world. It's not even trapped within the brain. It's not even here, so to say. It doesn't have any physicality to it. There is no 1, 2, 3, or 4. But this is a concept that is taught as a simplistic form that people think they know what it means, and they really don't, because it has no meaning in the nothingness where everything emanates from. So yeah, you have a soul. This is being childish-like, but some people assume, okay, well, there's a soul within your body that looks just like your body, call it a ghost, whatever it is. Well, that particular soul, whatever it looks like, you really do have total ownership of that. And you really do, when you feel your hand, you you know what it is and what's going on inside. And the reason you know that is because it's not separated by atoms and molecules and electrons and everything else. It is just one. There is no separation. It is one entire single unit, and you have total ownership of it, and it is totally you. Now, you didn't create it. God created it, and that's why you're called a son of God. But, or a daughter of God, or whatever the case may be. But that particular soul is in a different realm than this physical realm is, and that's what habitates your body. And that's why bodies can have more souls, more spirits, more whatever than others, and that's why in ancient times they were casting them out and all that kind of stuff, evil souls and stuff, and they talk about evil, and that's why disembodied souls and some evil ones never got the chance to habitate human bodies, but we know that goes on anyways, and but that's a whole nother story. Anyways, I just wanted to cover those topics about if your guru does not accept everyone before and everyone after, then you're not linked to that chain that's going to be one in the end. You're going a different direction. So just be careful about that. You have to be inclusive. So many religions and everything go, to hell with them, they're going to hell, blah, blah, blah. That's not inclusive. It's better to just go, you know what, I don't know where they're going. I love them. I hope they're one with me and vice versa. I hope they change the way they are. But that'll settle out in the end. Now we can waste our eternity in this life going around this samsaric life of reincarnation time after time after time. In Hinduism they talk about a kalpa of time, which is like the Big Bang, like 13, 14 billion years or something. And if we just continue to go around because we don't catch on to what reality is, we don't become enlightened, we don't become one and go on there, when it's all over, you have to realize there's only one. So if you did not make that connection with the one, then you no longer exist in a format that can be considered one with God. You can't be annihilated to nothing, well, that's another story. But of course there's more Big Bangs. It goes on forever. It's not like you're in a hurry to get anywhere. You can reincarnate a billion times if you can't seem to figure it out. You're not in a hurry. You can suffer endlessly through 1,000 kalpas if you want. That's entirely your prerogative. Nobody is pushing you. There are people pulling you, though, who love you. And they're trying to draw you in, which is what a true guru is supposed to do. A true guru is supposed to pull in people from out there who are searching, who are lost, and through love and compassion, pull them in towards themselves because they've gotten along that path far enough that they can clearly see where they're going, and then they can pull these people in who are searching, who find the guru and vice versa, and then direct that person on the path. And then if it's done correctly, yes, there's love between followers and gurus, but that particular love is a love of friendship, not a love of the master. I really don't like that word master because we're all masters in one degree or another. So it's a friendship. Because when you're all one, how can there be a master and a non-master? How can there be a Jesus the Christ and a loser that needs forgiveness? Of course, we all may need forgiveness at some point, but if we're going to follow that path and Jesus happens to be the Savior, then the problem has been solved through that particular individual because we're all attached and we're all going to the same location. And it's all through love, it's through love and respect and friendship. There's no subservience in this particular path. There's only love and friendship. That's all there is. Nothing else exists unless you're going on this other path. Anyways, thanks for watching.